Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Let me see who was here first. Jacqueline Rippy. Thank you so much for being here first. And Lydia Washington, Mary H., and a whole bunch of other people. Connie Bomber. You guys know what week this is. This may be the Juneteenth day, what's left of it. About, I don't know, 8 minutes for me. Right? But there's another important thing we observe this week. I'll tell you in a minute. So, Juneteenth, a celebration of freedom, a reminder of resilience. Remember that it's not just a celebration of freedom, but also a reminder of resilience. Yeah, as the song says, how I got over, how I got over. You know, my soul looks back and wonder how I got over. So, yes, how I got over. Well, thank you, Mifu. Happy Juneteenth to you as well. Hey, Hazel Jones. So, as you can see, that is the flag that is used. I don't know what they call it the Pan African flag. Is that what they call it? With the green representing Mother Earth, black for the people, and red for the blood that has been lost. At least I think that's what it means. Ain't that every other flag? So, certain colors, you come up with a certain explanation. But yeah, so I think that's what they call it, is the Pan African flag. And of course, the Juneteenth flag, with stars representing all 50 states, some of which were the slaveholding states. And the stripes, well, I think that's because it was on the American flag. I mean, it looks like the American flag. Who are we kidding? And of course, here is a AI way of thinking about Juneteenth. I mean, as you can see, that famous what do you call it? Plantation mansion that burned down this year is in the background. And there's a gentleman holding a folding chair just in case some white people try to put it out. And in case some concerned white citizens try to put the fire out, there he is with a folding chair to remind them, let it burn. And of course, a friendly, jovial game of cards. So, RS, thank you so much for the PayPal. And as always, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And hello to you too. I see it says hello there. Thank you very much. And of course, I kind of hijacked this. Someone had that on their Twitter, I think it was. So anyway, if you're watching and that's what you posted earlier, thank you so much. I kind of added some background to it so that it would fill up the screen with color. But otherwise, yeah, I got that from someone's Instagram. I thought it was pretty cool. Very beautiful. I love the use of colors. And what else do we have here? Opal Lee. Do you guys remember her? Opal Lee? Well, let me play a little soundbite from Miss Opal Lee. This rather feisty lady, well, you can kind of thank her for the Juneteenth, I believe they said. I saw, actually, we talked about her before on Royal Sussex. And anyway, that was quite some time ago. You know what? I wonder if I could find it. Opal. Oh, no, not like that. I got to go to here, right? And then I add Opal Lee. Nope, that didn't work. What if I put this? That didn't work either. Oh, what about this? Oh, yeah, well, this is the one I just saved. But anyway, they say you can't talk about Juneteenth without talking Miss Opal Lee. She didn't just teach history, she made history. It says this Thursday, June 19th, join the Hip Hop Caucus as we walk alongside Miss Opal Lee and the community in her annual 2.5-mile Freedom Walk, honoring the 2.5 years it took for the news of emancipation to reach the last enslaved people in Texas. Okay? So, anyway, I'm going to let you hear the voice of Miss Opal Lee.
We've been celebrating. There may be some of you who don't know what Juneteenth is. The enslaved in Texas were told they were free for 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation freed them. They watch in their churches and they pray for freedom to come. And it finally did. When General Gordon Granger and 7,000 colored troops from New Jersey and New York made their way to Galveston, Texas. And he read General Order Number 3 that said all slaves are free. When those people came in from their labor and somebody read that to them, we started celebrating, and we've been celebrating ever since. Juneteenth is not a Texas thing. It's not a Black thing. We're talking about freedom for everyone. There may be some of you who don't know what Juneteenth.
Sorry about that. Anyway, that annoying music they had in the background was a little overwhelming. But anyway, well, yeah, there you can see June 19th, 1939. At 12 years old, Opal Lee first witnessed racial acts with her own eyes. At a young age, Lee became a victim of racism and injustice, watching her family land was stripped from her hands. They actually stole their family home. The community, which was predominantly white, stole her family home. And actually, the property, I believe it was vacant. It was vacant. They turned it into a community park. And anyway, the land was deeded. They used a quick deed to gift the land back to Opal Lee, the lone survivor from her family that was driven out of the community at the time. And the land was given back to her. And she, of course, had a chance to enjoy sitting on the porch of the house that was built very quickly so that she might live on the land that rightfully belonged to her family, which was an incredible story. And anyway, she's been fighting for civil rights and social injustice most of her life because back in 1939, she witnessed an act of racism as a child against her family. So, very inspiring person. If you want to know more about her, of course, you could always do some searching and find out more about Opal Lee. Okay, and moving on, the Emancipation Proclamation freed them rather. That is actually that is from the sound I just played for you. Her sitting in the room there speaking. And look at there. If it isn't the Princess Royale celebrating with her real family and not the adoptive family that she has over in the UK, as you can see, she has worn purple because, anyway, you know how them people love purple. Anyway, she's wearing purple. Y'all know how we like purple. Um, and anyway, I know some of y'all have been curious as to what does her real family look like. Well, now you can see them. Now, of course, she has given up a bad habit that she had for a long time. Yes, she doesn't smoke anymore. She's given up the Newports. But anyway, that's the Princess Royale's real family. How she ended up over there with those Windsors, I don't know. You know how they have that reputation about the royals whenever they go on a royal tour. You got to count the kids in the community because they say some of them come up missing. Also, let me see. It is Connie Balmer Appreciation Day. Yes, actually, Connie Balmer Appreciation Week. So, just in case you were wondering what I was saying was special about this week, it is Connie Balmer Appreciation Week. Connie Balmer, who has supported so many of these Sussex friendly channels. I tell you, every corner of the internet or the YouTube where I find Sussex friendly channels, more often than not, there is Connie Balmer in the comments. So, anyway, we're going to give Connie a hand because of how much we appreciate her supporting all these Sussex friendly spaces. And you know what? I almost forgot this one. Um, there's another image of the Princess Royale. Here she's with her father's side of the family. Yeah, the other people, that was her mom's side, her real mom. And this is her father's side of the family. There's her sister, Effie, and there's some of her, that's her great niece and great nieces, rather, and her great nephew. And anyway, I'm just glad to see that she's finally been reunited with her peoples, all of her peoples. Yes. Oh, Connie Balmer. Well, you deserve it. I mean to tell you, that's the truth, you guys. I'm like, oh, this is a great channel. I'd be like, I wonder if anybody else knows about it. And I go down in the comments, and there's Connie Balmer being supportive as ever. So I just want you to know that we do know and appreciate the fact that you have been supporting so many of these Sussex friendly spaces. It's the encouragement from those early subscribers that that motivates. I mean, if it wasn't from the input of the first 100 people that subscribe to my channel, where would I be right now? You know what I mean? So, Church Nelly is another one. Church Nelly was on board a long time ago. Lydia Washington, so many of you guys that have helped to make these channels, helped to encourage us to do this work. Just like the type of I guess love and concern that it took to get Princess Anne to find her real family. You know what I mean? It's that same kind of love and concern that helped Princess Anne find her real family. Now, anyway, we have to keep this amongst ourselves. That's her mother's side of the family, and um, and to think that instead of going to Royal Ascot, she'd rather celebrate Juneteenth, that is, with her real peoples. And you all be wondering, what is taking Barron so long? This is not AI. I trust me, if it was AI, it would have been that much easier. But this is not AI. This is commitment. And oh well. Anyway, you guys, I have so much fun doing this, and as always, you guys, thank you so much for trusting me to do this work. I try to make it fun and yet informative. That is the best recipe. And of course, I always strive for accuracy. I do not think about failing. You know, I forgot this yesterday. I forgot about this yesterday. I missed this slide. I put everything else and I didn't add this one. So I wanted to make sure that I made up for that today by adding that from the conversation she had with Emma, where, you know, she spoke about the idea of failure. Well, she doesn't have an idea of failure. She only looks at failure as a teachable moment, as a chance to learn. And I had at least one person offered to help me with my channel, and I refused because I know that I have those bouts of creativity, right? When I get the idea to do something, the last thing I want to do is wait for someone to help me. I'd rather take as much time as it takes to figure it out for myself. And I'm sure that in some ways that has not served me well in life, but I think for the most part it has, because at least I know what I do is genuine and I don't have to rely on what, you know, copying other people's work. You know what I mean? That's just one thing that I like to speak in my own voice, not someone else's voice. So I try to do a lot of things for myself. I try to learn and discover for myself. And I feel like that served me well. And so I'd rather take a little more time to do things than to have someone walk me through it every step of the way. Oh, this is it right here.
When you think about the failure rate for first-time entrepreneurs, does that ever concern you? Have you even let your mind go there?
I do not think about failing. No.
You're not scared of failing.
Is anything actually a failure ultimately? Because you're going to learn from it no matter what happens. But no, I feel confident in what I've been dreaming up for so long. I feel confident in the partner that I have. And I feel really proud of the team that I have. So that's not an option.
It's not an option.
No.
I love that you say that's not an option, because there's just such an intense narrative around everything that you do. I can't imagine not being a bit scared. Like, I'm always scared when I start something, but nobody's even watching me. Like, I get to fail in a corner on my own
with your glass of wine.
Like, thank God nobody was watching that. But it's very different for you. And so I'm surprised that you say that.
I'm not saying that there aren't moments where I don't feel scared. Of course you do. But as I've continued to say to myself, and whatever I'm going through, my faith is greater than my fear. I believe in myself. I believe in the team around me. I believe in our potential for success. And is that the same metric that someone else is putting on it? No. for me, it would have been a huge success and not a failure if I was selling my homemade jams at farmers market. And I'd gotten a cottage license. I applied for that in the county of Santa Barbara, where you can literally go
like,
and yes, I was like, great, you can make the goods in your home and sell them. That would have been a success for me. So someone else's sense of what that looks like is not necessarily what mine is, and that will continue to grow. But no, I don't see the possibility of failure. Not when you can learn from everything that you've done.
The way that you speak about both imposter syndrome and failure, because these are two things that, again, uniquely are in the kind of language of so many female founders. And they're real for so many people, and that's fine. But I do also want to demystify the idea that, like, we have to feel that we have to go around feeling really scared, and we have to believe that this is not a journey for us. And so I wonder what in your life and your history has got you to the point where you can feel like that.
Well, I think words matter. And I think certain words and terms become very topical and trendy, and they just become part of them.
When you think about the failure rate for first time.
Okay, so there you go. You guys, I just feel very strongly that there are some future female CEOs out there, or just someone who's starting a little cash job on the side, that are going to be so inspired by these conversations. They're going to be so inspired by the idea of using your strengths and your ideas to better your situation. So yeah, I think it's a service to women everywhere that Meghan is on this path, and as she grows, there's going to be so many other women that are going to grow and enhance their businesses. So I think it will speak to a certain class of women, right? It's going to speak to a certain group of women out there that have been looking for inspiration. Because when you really want to achieve something, you just have to eat, sleep, and breathe all of that information in. Taking a break, of course, is good to meditate or go for a walk or something like that. But otherwise, surrounding yourself with other successful people is probably the best thing you could do. If you have to be around anybody, be around people that are successful, especially in the field in which you want to grow, and you'll find yourself doing things that you didn't think were possible. So good for you, Meghan. And Emma, oh my God, Emma is just extraordinary. And the energy that they had throughout their conversation, it was great. Let me see here. There you go. Just trying to see if I can find Emma somewhere here. Didn't I have Emma? Oh, this was the other one I had. I would ask people to tell the truth. I think Emma is back here somewhere. Was she? Or was that yesterday's? Let me see. There we go. Love the photos that Emma posted. Love the photo. And if you guys did not go to the Instagram to Emma's account, if you're not following Emma, please do on Instagram or whatever platform. She posts, that's where these photos came from. She posted these photos yesterday. And let me see how many views there are for the video. Where are they at now? I hope that video goes over 1 million views. Let me see here. So far it's only 138,000, which is great, but I want to see it go over 1 million. Let me go to her YouTube channel, and I'm gonna do, what is it, popular, to see which has been her most popular video. So far this one. Okay, so her video with Meghan is 138,000, and before that, the Melody Hobson video, 114,000. And before that, guess who? Gwyneth Paltrow, 92,000. And then it drops all the way to 45,000, where Emma's Blueprint for a Successful Life. I guess that video features herself. Oh, you know what? She's only got a handful of videos. She only has 3, 6, 9, 10. She's only got the 10 videos. She only has 10 videos. So I guess this is new. I want to check one more thing. Oh, yeah, she started this channel March 17th, 2025. So that's why she doesn't have a large following on YouTube. And there's probably not a lot of people that knows that she's on YouTube. But you know what? If you're listening, Emma, I am grateful for you being here on YouTube, because that's usually where I hang out. She's only got 22,700 subscribers. Looks like there's been a total of 47 videos, but I only see the handful. So maybe she took those down. And combined, she hasn't gotten over 1 million views yet. So, but she's on podcasts. I know she's on the Apple Podcast. I don't know where else she may be streaming, but I know she's on Apple Podcasts. So, all right. So new channel, that explains it. But so far, her most viewed video is the one with Meghan. So there you go. That was my analytics about Emma's channel in 2 minutes. All right. Love these photos. Meghan wearing the Ralph Lauren 3-piece. Meghan with her Ralph Lauren 3-piece. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, back over here. And let's continue, because I got a lot of stuff to cover. So if that wasn't enough, that dear Emma posted those photos yesterday, she was not through by a long shot. She still had more to speak about the Duchess of Sussex. I don't know if she does this with everyone, but I don't know. Maybe she has a new best friend. So I'm going to find that little gem for you. Is this it? I'm not 100% certain, but let's see what happens.
And Duchess of Sussex. I expected a great conversation, but what I didn't expect was how much clarity, conviction, and honestly, genuine wisdom that she brought to the table. Meghan doesn't just talk about building a brand. She's building something with purpose, precision, and with a lot of heart. And there are a few moments that really stayed with me. The first one was trust your timeline. She said, someone else's urgency is not my urgency. And that hit. She's not rushing to meet outside expectations. She's building with care, on her own terms, and that discipline shows in every move that she makes. The second one was own the vision, share the work. Meghan talks about creating something where you feel her fingerprints all over it. She believes in collaboration, but not at the expense of intention. You can delegate, but you still have to show up. The third thing was to protect what matters the most. And she spoke about being present for her kids and having to ask herself if she could do it well enough, or if she should just do a few things exceptionally well. And that idea really resonates with me, because it's not about balance. It never is. It's about priorities. Next, You have to make your message unmistakable. For Meghan, influence isn't just about visibility, it's about intentionality. And even in silence, she used her platform to elevate others. Every choice was a signal, redirecting attention, value, and visibility towards people and principles that matter. Her reminder was that influence is power, that how you use it, that's purpose. And then finally, she says, success starts small. As ever started with homemade jam, not splashy rollout, just a personal gesture. And it grew because it was real. And that's the reminder that you too can start small. Just start with what you love. So let me know which moments stuck out to you. And if you haven't listened to the full episode, Aspire with Emma Grede is available now on Apple Podcasts and wherever you get your.
Okay, so there you go. That is what she had to say about Meghan today. Like I said, that this whole thing about the female entrepreneur, the female CEO, it is going to change a lot of lives. And, you know, some of us are older, and some of these things, like starting a business, it may not be in the cards for us, but definitely those are things that you can use. Those talking points, those are things that you can use in your life every day, like starting something small, not being rushed, you know, having your own timeline. That is something that applies to everybody. That is something that applies to everyone, rather than feeling the pressure of doing things in someone else's timeline. Establish your own and stick with it. Don't be afraid to do it your own way. So I'm inspired. Hopefully I can internalize so many of those things that they said and use it more often in my everyday life, doing things with purpose. I like that, having purpose. By the way, I'm going to give you guys some purpose. Please hit the like button. I don't say it that often. I don't have anything scrolling at the bottom of my screen because I find that annoying. But do hit the like button. And again, if you want to support this channel, for the very small price of $4.99 a day, you can do an automatic payment once a month to support Royal Sussex. And again, that goes a long way to support this channel. Once a month, $4.99 a day. I mean, a month, not a day. Was that a Freudian slip? Let me see. How much is $4.99 over 31 days? Anyway, but yeah, thank you very much, you guys. So Meghan's baby mama video is at 51.3 million. Let me see how much it has gone up since I posted that, or since I made that slide. Okay. Baby mama video. BABYMAMA. This goes out to all my baby's mamas. I got love for all my baby mamas. BABYMAMA. This goes out to all my baby mamas. I got love for all my baby mama. Okay, it's 51.3, still the same thing. You get your support check in the mail, you open it and you're like, what the hell? This ain't even half a day care. You know, I love this song. That's a different song from the one in the Meghan's video. That was Fantasia. This goes out to all my baby mamas. I got love for all my baby mamas. Love that song. As I used to say on American Bandstand. Okay, you baby boomers, here's another test for you. Every time they asked the kids on American Bandstand, what did they like about the song? They always said it was a da 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 and da 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 da. Anybody know what the answer was? Remember, Dick Clark would say, "What did you like about the song?" I'll give you a chance to figure that out. Dick Clark would ask the question, "What did you like about that song?" This is a baby boomer test. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let me see. You know what? Sharon Middleton, that's close enough. That is close enough. That is pretty much the answer. They would always say it has a great beat and it's easy to dance to. That's it. It has a great beat and it's easy to dance to. You know what? That is epic. I didn't think anybody would get that. So there you go. Wow, Sharon Middleton. Now by tomorrow, I'm gonna forget who got that, but while I remember, that is so impressive. Wow, love that. What did you like about that song? It has a great beat. They say, duh, it has a great beat and it's easy to dance to. That is so impressive. I'm blown away. Oh well. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. So chaos and panic break out at the palace over Kate Middleton's health. Oh my God. You know what, guys? Like one of the squatties said, is this just a ploy? And I don't mind being wrong, if asking the question is the wrong stance to take. I don't mind being wrong because during that whole "Where's Kate?" look at how often they lied about things. They told so many lies. They didn't just bend the truth, they didn't misrepresent. They lied again and again, one lie after the other. And of course, any institution that would lie about someone as sweet and loving as Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, they're capable of anything. A royal insider told Daily Beast there was a real sense of panic at the palace Wednesday after Kate Middleton dramatically pulled out of a scheduled appearance at the Royal Ascot Horse Racing Festival at the last minute. The palace, well, maybe she's seen Camilla run before. I don't know. Maybe that's why she didn't go. The palace has provided no on-the-record explanation for the absence. However, Kate's team sought to play down the idea that the cancellation signaled a downturn in her health, with some media briefed that it was just a question of the princess seeking balance as she continues to recover from cancer. Did she have cancer or were there cancer cells found? Did she have cancer or were there cancer cells found? But whatever the case may be, isn't it interesting that Charlie Windsor has found balance and countless other people around the world who do not have a chef, who do not have a nanny or two or three or four, who do not have people to clean and drive and do their laundry. Isn't it interesting how the rest of the world finds balance? My grandmother, who suffered from cancer, managed to take myself and my cousin to Disneyland, to Disney World, and so many other places around the city, all whilst battling a potentially fatal disease. And yet Kate, who claims that there were cancer cells found, is almost incapacitated when it's something she'd rather not do. That's why I say I don't feel bad asking the question, because they have misrepresented body doubles, weird photos, and then constantly saying that Kate is doing all these physically demanding things whilst away for 172 days. Which is it? Why do I care? Because when it was Meghan, who was not visible for various reasons, they did nothing but speculate and tell people what she was thinking and planning and threatening and all of those things. She didn't get a moment's rest. They kept her name in their mouths for month after month, day after day, regardless of how that misinformation would reflect on her as a person, causing people to even threaten her children. They didn't care. But Kate, the Rose, the English Rose, we have to back off. Don't ask any questions. It's whatever she said, not whatever it is. I'm sorry, but I'm sick of it. Leg says, remember the last time the support for the monarchy was in the gutter, all of a sudden, Charlie Windsor and the Immaculate Kate had cancer, allegedly. Now the support down again. And here we go again. Thank you, Lex. Yep. We just heard yesterday that their support was declining. And again, here comes illness, absence. See there? King Charles dealt blow as support for monarchy plummets in shock new poll. The poll is so bad, they won't even show the graph. They only throw the numbers into the article. But don't worry, as one of the squaddies said, by Friday, they will have created another emotional support poll so that they can sleep better, knowing that they are gaslighting people to believe that no matter how boring or dreadful or awful they are, we have convinced the rest of the world that Harry and Meghan are the problems. They're the issues. They're pulling us down. Oh, Legs also says apparently she can battle the slopes multiple times a year, but can't battle a carriage ride where someone might be booing her. It is sunny when skiing. Thank you, Legs. Exactly. There seems to be an inconsistency as to when she desires to show up. And I guess looking at those people with those placards Saturday was a bit jarring. Is her constitution so delicate that she can watch other people being raked over the coals because they have been misrepresented by Kensington Palace via the tabloid media, right? But when it comes to her, something that happened very organically, there are some people that are just tired of the privileged life that they have at the cost of the British taxpayer. I wouldn't say that she doesn't deserve to be in that position because she did not work for it. I'm saying she doesn't really deserve that position because she doesn't work at all. She doesn't care about anybody but herself. You could see the look of dread on her face anytime she has to go out. And all she has to do is show up and be pretty. She can't even do that. She picks and chooses when she wants to do that. But I bet you she was the first one on the plane when they said, we're going skiing this weekend. Bet. And she was the first one on the plane. She probably took those steps by 2s and 3s to get on that plane. And only after she had her seatbelt on did she realize the children were not on board. Yeah. But she didn't move. She knows the nanny's going to bring them. So she didn't have to move. It's a charmed existence. And all she had to do was show up and wear down Willie. Let me see. I would disagree. She worked to bag well. Yeah. Well, I guess in some respects that is work. Thank you for your comment. Now, oh, I'm over here, aren't I? So, what Palace Insider tell me about Kate's sudden absence from Ascot reveals Richard Eden, and intrigue deepens as intrigue, that is, deepens over friends, detail, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So Kensington Palace official declined to comment. However, sources said that Catherine was disappointed not to attend, but had to find the right balance as she fully returns to public-facing engagements. What a load of bull. Now, of course, I went to the comments section because that's the most interesting part to me. She looks extremely thin. She needs a holiday and rest time to heal. Didn't she just come from a holiday? I thought she just had a holiday and rest time. How much more rest do you need? There are other members of the family that are far more bad off in terms of their health than she is. And then they say, I agree. She already been skiing. And let me see, someone else said, she's already been skiing and to the, what is it, Maldives? No, whatever, this year. Yeah. And wait a minute, how about this? White's Princess, interesting name, the 95-year-old Queen Elizabeth II at Ascot in 2021. She did not have to find a balance. Now, in 2021, I believe that the Queen was, guess what? Suffering from cancer. Suffering from cancer. She's already ill. Remember, at some point, she went to the hospital and they kept her overnight. And all of the royal rota was upset because they didn't find out about it until a week later. The Queen was already ill from cancer. But there's Kate. Her balance seems just fine. Look at her balancing herself, smiling and skiing. Seems like she's okay to me. There's no oversight Kate doesn't have oversight and she doesn't have a guilty conscience. There's nobody over her to say, oh, but you have to go, Mom. No, she doesn't. She will be queen. She does whatever she wants to. She has given birth to 3 children, the future of the institution, the future of the male line of the family. She's married to a future king. She's given birth to a future king. I would say, unless she divorces, her position is solid. If she chooses to stay home, oh, well, what are they going to do? Oh, look at the smile on her face. She seems just fine to me. This is why they were so bothered by those photos. Remember, they said William was furious and wasn't sure whether or not to pursue legally, right? Whether or not he wants to pursue this legally. That's what he was trying to sort out. Kate and William, vacation, secret vacation. Is that what it says? In France. In France, their secret vacation. They didn't suspect that anybody would take photos, let alone share them. You see, most of the tabloid media is in their back pocket. There's a lot of things that not only will the British papers not report, but I do believe that most of the tabloid newspapers across the UK will not report these things, across Europe, should I say. So they had no reason to believe this would ever be photographed, let alone printed. Why? Well, because of the invisible contract. My guess is William called the manager like he did before. Thank you, Legs. Oh, let me see. Notice they don't care how they make the news. Lying about Kate allows them to make the cover. Remember, the boring stuff that they were doing, no one cared. They didn't make the front page. Pity party. Let me see. Kate has to turn her and look the other way while Willie strays from her queen privileged life. Oh, here's another comment. I am glad people are finally being honest about Kate looking really old and thin and are saying she needs to rest more. She should be left alone and take proper time off. She looks as old as her mother now. Health first, Kate. I can't decide whether or not this person is being helpful or hurtful. Let's do that again. I'm glad people are finally being honest about Kate looking really old and thin and are saying she needs to rest more. She should be left alone to take proper time off. She looks as old as her mother now. Health first, Kate. Well, I say they're pretty even Steven, don't you? Anyway, yeah, I can't decide whether or not they were trying to be helpful or hurtful. And then down here, Loki, why does that seem familiar to me? Says not a single thing was revealed in that article that wasn't already public knowledge. Marine's articles, that is, are always headlines that this insider told me about, etc., etc. Nobody told you anything, Maureen. You're embarrassing yourself, Maureen. Well, somebody got his tea, huh? Somebody knows all about the burner account. Maureen, Maureen, I'm gonna beat your ass, Maureen, Maureen. I'm gonna beat your ass, Maureen, Maureen. Too many couch naps? Okay. She will be in the peak of health for Wimbledon, just a lazy scrounger. Her designer dress didn't arrive in time. Woo! I tell you, these people are cutting up, ain't they? It must be hard keeping this fake marriage going. Another comment says, don't worry, Wimbledon is just around the corner. She'll be back for that. And lastly, she never had cancer. She had precancerous cells that were removed. There's a huge difference. I'm sure she'll be dressed in her designer labels, looking pretty for you all to fawn over come Wimbledon. You see there? Everybody's caught on to the Wimbledon hack. Everybody knows that Kate will not miss Wimbledon. You see, social media is a blessing and a curse. It depends on the situation and it depends on who you are. It is a blessing and a curse. Oh, look who's turning it up. Well, there was a time when Ma Middleton used to have to wear those hand-me-downs from Kate. Remember that? Like that ugly blue dress. Or how about that pink monstrosity that she's wearing with her hand on her hip like she's standing at the door of a country saloon? There's old Ma, they call her Ma Middleton. They call her Ma Middleton. Dun, 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 dun. They call her Ma Middleton. She's the roughest broad in town. If you want to get down in this town, you better call Mama Middleton. You better call Mama Middleton. If you want some drinks and your breath stinks, you better call Mom Middleton. Call Mom Middleton. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, Ma Middleton. Anyway, Ma Middleton y'all know I ain't got no sense. Y'all know this by now. Look at Ma Middleton wearing one of Kate's outfits. Now, either there was a 2-for-1 sale or Ma Middleton is broke and there's Silent Mike. We'd never heard Mike Middleton's voice. There's, you know what? Look at Mike Middleton's face. I think that she's not the only one in the family that likes her beverages. Huh? Looks like Mike Middleton throws back a couple of them himself. Ma and Pa Middleton. Yep. Those gangsters from Buckleberry. And of course, and by the way, you guys, I'm looking at that dress that she wore for the Royal Ascot. Looks like she's coming up. That's actually a cute dress. I think things are going better for her now. she's not nearly as bad off as she used to be. You know what I mean? Things are looking up for Ma Middleton. Let me see here. Ma Middleton? I want to show you the outfit that Ma is wearing. Do I have it here? See there? You see there? That's not bad. It's kind of cute. Now, somebody then gave her some money. I'm guessing it must have been her son-in-law. She done got some money from somewhere. Somebody has been hooking up Ma Middleton, because Ma Middleton ain't looked this good in a while. She's wearing one of her designer labels or something. Either that or she took it off the dining room table. Yeah, maybe she saw it on the dining room table and just couldn't resist. Yep. There's an open bar. I would say that look says open bar. All you can drink. Speaking of which, take a look on the right side. Remember how she embarrassed the royal family, embarrassed her daughter when they went to a football game, and there she was with a beverage in a paper bag? You know, you can take Ma Middleton out of the council housing, but you cannot take the council. You cannot take the council housing out of the Ma Middleton. Seriously. Yep. Actually, the council estate. He lives in one of those big high-rise buildings. Yes, you're looking at the English version of Good Times. Yes, open bar for Ma Middleton. And you see the picture on the newspaper. You know what that is, don't you? That's when you had one too many. Would you like something else to drink? No, I think I had enough. That's what that is. She didn't have so much, she got the hiccups. Well, if it's free, it's free. A paper bag. How tacky is that? Now, take a look here. Disappointed Princess Kate, a no-show at Royal Ascot despite being listed in the official carriage procession amid post-cancer phased return to duty. Well, I got a video to go with that, or a soundbite to go with that. There's so many inconsistencies. That's the whole point of this. There's so many inconsistencies. If it was Harry and Meghan, we would have never heard the end of it. It would have been front page headline news.
This headline by Sky News, this is the perfect example of irresponsible media framing. They frame this in a way to manipulate our sympathy. It's been a year. It's been more than a year. This is a mockery of the people that are sick, that are dying. And this media framing is framed in a way to be sympathetic towards this princess. This headline by Sky News, this is
okay. And you know, when they said brave Kate, remember that? And then the other one was most mere mortals. Remember they referred to other people suffering, healing, recovering as mere mortals. Remember that? And I tell you what, the backlash was severe. It was the overzealous so-called journalists for the tabloid media, I forget which one it was, who said mere mortals. That was so insulting. And what it reminded me of was an episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show. One of the people on the panel, she was living with HIV/AIDS. And there has been so many times when she has told her story that the response was, look at Magic Johnson. Look at Magic Johnson. Now, this was some years ago. Now, every year since the AIDS crisis, treatments have become more advanced and so much better than it was 6 months before that, a year before that, and 2 years before that. So much is better for people, especially if they have access to good treatment. And she snapped back at Oprah. If I recall, it was Oprah that she snapped on. She said, what about Magic Johnson? What about him? She said, he gets the best care available. He gets the best of everything. I can't afford the best of everything. And she said, on top of that, who would want to be taking so many medications every day? Wouldn't it be better if you didn't have to take any? And that is the point here, is that there's no waiting, there's no queuing, there's no hesitation. When Kate has an appointment, like anyone else in that family, when she has an appointment, nothing starts until she shows up. She is ushered in and ushered out. And she gets the best of everything available. If they have to fly someone in, then they'll do it. If they have to fly her someplace, they will do it. And that's why it's so insulting to hear them say mere mortal or brave. There are still mere mortals out there who do not have the privilege. So what about Magic Johnson? What about him? And then I'm going to point out the real mother-daughter bond that they have. I'll move on to this. The facial tic. I thought it was just Kate that had these weird facial tics. Turns out the mama got one too. They always doing something weird with their mouth. Always something weird with their mouth. I don't know why. But yeah, they just got these weird facial tics. That comes from being shady. That's what that is. That comes from being shady. When people are real shady like that, they suffer from them facial tics and little twitches and stuff. So that's why Kate looks like that. That's why her mama looked like that. Because they shady. They done schemed and connived their way all the way into Buckingham Palace. And as a result, they got these little nervous facial tics, winking and twitching and all that kind of stuff. Wringing of hands. Oh, so if you ever wonder why, because I am a qualified body language expert, I know exactly what's going on. And that's what it is. It comes from being shady. All of those weird facial tics and twitches and stuff. like misrepresenting who made who cry and all that kind of stuff. Terrorizing somebody on their wedding day, wearing white to someone's wedding. It results in those very bizarre facial twitches and tics. Anyway, or was it Camilla? Is that the reason why she didn't come? Because she didn't want to be with Camilla? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it, as I have been saying, and the tabloid media will not say, I think there's a problem. Yeah. Yeah. Clarence House, I think we have a problem. Kensington Palace, I think we have a problem. Remember, on the what is it, the coronation day, the royal women are actually supposed to wear tiaras, but they were not allowed to because of Camilla. Camilla wanted to be the only person in there with a tiara on or a crown. And that's the end of it. End of. Kate was not allowed to wear one. So what did Kate do? She went to someone and had them make some type of headpiece out of crystals, which they said cost thousands of dollars. What was it, $30,000, $40,000? And of course, it looks like a tiara to me. Very organic in style, but still it looks like a tiara. And maybe Camilla didn't like that. Also, the fact that Camilla does not allow Kate to wear her favorite color of blue. Yeah, she's not allowed to wear blue. If that is, if Camilla wears it. If Camilla is wearing blue, Kate is not allowed to wear blue. Camilla gets first choice over wearing that blue. But there were some occasions when Kate wore it in her presence, and I'm wondering, did that cause conflict? I'm not sure. William always uses someone for his dirty work. Thank you, Legs. As in Jason or Kate. How about this one? The mental challenge Kate Middleton and Prince William have admitted to dealing with at home after they're branded competitive by royal relatives. Royal relative. Well, Zandy Sussex, who shared this article, she says, interesting that some are talking about mental challenges in relations to Kate no-show at Ascot. The signs were all there at Trooping the Colors, by the way. The, what is that? The maniacal laughing. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is in, how do you say that? Maniacal, like manic, right? Laughing to herself 1 minute. To barking at her kids the next. Remember Shakespeare's Lady Macbeth went mad too. Zandy always calls her Lady Macbeth. What does she call it? Kate Macbeth, Catherine Macbeth. That is so funny to me. The signs were all there, Trooping the Color, by the way. Laughing to herself 1 minute and barking at the kids the next. Oh, Lord. Excuse me. Well, you'd have to really deliberately look the other way not to know that it's something wrong with the two of them. Why do you all think that institution is in such a panic? Why do you think they have to constantly gaslight the public about the Sussexes? That's because they don't want you to pay too much attention to these two. They barely work. They barely show up. And when I say they barely show up, it doesn't mean that they're not there, but they barely show up. They are merely coaxing along, right? Not really into it. Although they love people celebrating them as heroes, they just don't do a lot to earn it. And then, of course, Camilla Godzilla, beer bottle opener, cap catcher. Someone who watched the Royal Ascot was inspired and took out a patent on this new beer bottle opener. They call it the Camilla Godzilla beer bottle opener. And the cap catcher, well, the caps usually end up in the bra. There's another space just beneath that gaping mouth of hers, and that's that's where they catch all the caps. So I'm betting you this is going to sell out this Christmas. This is going to be a very hot item this Christmas. Imagine having this in your family room, or if you own a pub or something like that. The Camilla Godzilla beer bottle opener. I'm telling you, this is going to be hot. This is going to be hot. You see there? They were inspired by the Royal Ascot, and they could not wait to get home. I'm pretty sure they drew some blueprints up on a napkin and found some investors right there at the horse races. And next thing you know, the Camilla Godzilla beer bottle opener. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can get one. I'm going to put it I'm going to mount it on the side of the kitchen cabinets. Anyway, I know I'm having too much fun. Richard Eden, make them Earl and Countess of Bucklebury. Why Carol and Michael Middleton deserve their own titles for their heroic support of William and Kate. Oh, they're heroes too? They're heroes too? As a matter of fact, did he think of this himself, or was that included with the note that came with the dog food given to you by, guess who? James Middleton. You know, Carol and Mike's daughter, Kate and Pippa's brother. Is that why you're so generous to the Middletons? Is that why they're so heroic? What else do they gift you? I mean, you're already getting some of that whatever dog food and dog treats from James Middleton, whose affection for his dog I find rather alarming. But I wonder if that's where that idea came from. Anyway, I guess if somebody sent me some treats for my dog, I'd sit up there and think of ways to help them out too. Very thoughtful of you, Richard Eden. Very thoughtful. And of course, James Middleton once dreamed of becoming the next Sir Richard Branson. But then Kate's brother turned to the good life and breeding spaniels. to find peace in the countryside with his pregnant wife. Well, if he wants to know anything about Richard Branson, he should just ask his sister. I bet she knows him. Yeah, I bet she knows him very well. Flashback: Kate Middleton, aka Yacht Girl, was partying with Richard Branson. Yeah, there you go. Kate Middleton shows Richard Branson she means business as billionaire gives her advice. Wonder what kind of advice you give someone in the middle of the night at a party. Huh? What kind of advice? It says her parents may have built a multi-million-pound company or thereabouts, but Kate Middleton has turned to Sir Richard Branson in a bid to sharpen her business acumen. What business is that? Prince William's girlfriend has had a series of meetings with the billionaire, who has helped set up a partnership between his Virgin Empire and her parents' Party Pieces mail order business. Wow. Do you mean to tell me the future of a multi-billion-dollar corporation like Virgin hinged on Party Pieces? Party Pieces had something to offer. What in the world did Party Pieces have to offer Sir Richard Branson that they couldn't get anyplace else, pray tell? What could they have had to offer that they couldn't get anyplace else? Let that sink in. What was available to Richard Branson in the dead of night? The Middleton firm will now offer experience days. Ooh, that's awkward. Such as surfing lessons and trips to football grounds and recording studios in conjunction with Virgin. Some things you just cannot make up. Let me see. Lex says, anyone seen the other Boleyn girl, Middleton? You know what? What was it? Anne Boleyn, and what was the other one? The other one was named Kate or Catherine, right? Yes, the Boleyn sisters. Let me see. The Boleyn sisters. Okay, known as Lady Mary, was the sister of English Queen Consort Anne Boleyn, whose family enjoyed considerable influence during the reign of Henry VIII. Mary was one of the mistresses of Henry VIII for an unknown period. Good observation, Legs. Let me see. Boleyn sisters, Middleton sisters. Let me see what comes up there. If there's any the myth of Catherine Middleton, Mary Boleyn, Tudor Queen. Middleton is the descendant of Middleton is a descendant of Mary Boleyn, sister to Queen Anne, through Boleyn's granddaughter Elizabeth Knowles, whose daughter Elizabeth Leeton. Well, what do you know? What do you know? How about that? She is a Boleyn, literally and figuratively. Legs, you be knowing. You be knowing. also known as the Wisteria Sisters, just like the vine, always climbing up on something, whether it's a trellis or a billionaire, always climbing. Now, Loose Women. Loose Women star admits, "I'm totally devastated and can't get over it at all," as she reveals crucial decision at embattled show. Girl, give it a rest. Give it a rest. The easy money is gone, right? They cannot afford to keep y'all on television. They cannot afford a studio audience. They can't afford it. Now, I know it must be tough looking across the pond and seeing that, what's that show? The View is still going strong, but yet Loose Women, well, I guess they cutting them loose. They cutting them loose. But you know what? Like I said so many times, it was always awkward for me to see the Loose Women because all I could think of was the Westminster Kennel Club. And of course, if you're going to turn on the Westminster Kennel Club, there really should be a best in show. Well, there were no best on this show. They were all, well, with the exception of some people not present at the table in this photo. But none of those would ever win best in show, ever. And of course, there's the awkwardness of seeing them in 4K. When you see them in 4K, all of a sudden you feel like you're looking at the Flintstones with the Gruesomes next door. A family that moved in at some point and scared everybody in the neighborhood, the Gruesomes. But I have a solution. And by the way, there's one particular person on there that always reminds me of the Grinch that stole Christmas. Straight out of Whoville, you guys. Straight out of Whoville. I love the Queen. I love the Queen. That's who said it. I love the Queen. Well, I would work hard too if the whole country paid me. Right? Remember that?
I just don't get it. I don't get any of it.
What do you mean? You don't get what?
I don't get why we're so obsessed with these humans that are exactly the same. Like, it could be us four sitting there. I just don't get it.
But are you talking about
I
what
love
you mean
the
as
Queen.
royals or
Yeah.
as like Kim Kardashian? Because for me, they're becoming celebrities.
Well, yeah, to me, that's all they are.
The Queen
is their
for
celebrities.
me is
I love the
brilliant.
Queen.
I
For
love the
what?
Queen.
No,
For duty, responsibility.
She's always
figurehead.
worked really hard,
But
hasn't
I would
she?
work hard if the whole country paid for me to have like 12 houses and work really
But
hard.
they don't pay for all of the houses. But
Just a few.
Yeah, just a few. Anyway, okay, would you guys like to see my solution? I have a solution so you don't have to see them looking so gruesome, especially in 4K, or looking like the Who, the cat, what is it? The Grinch that stole Christmas, looking like the Grinch. Back in the 70s, there was a very famous comedian. His name was the Unknown Comic. Some of you guys are old enough to remember him. He was called the Unknown Comic. And are you catching my drift? Here's my solution. There you go. Now I can take it. I don't like what they say, but in case my eyes glance across the screen, I won't fall out of my chair. I won't think I just tuned in the Westminster Kennel Club Best in Show. There you go. Those fossils on the show. Yeah, there you go. That is the solution. All you got to do is get a little paper bag, a little sack from somewhere, and just pop it on their heads, and you know, it don't fix the nonsense they're saying, but at least they don't scare you. Because sometimes they scare me. I'd be like, what the hell is that? I just don't get it. Yep, there you go. That is how, if they would have done this 6 months ago, I swear, loose women would not have been chipped away at. They wouldn't be down to what, 32 shows without a studio audience. There you go. Problem solved. Just put a little paper bag over their head, and then you don't have to deal with them. Yeah. And speaking of don't have to deal with it, I wonder if this big sloppy, slouchy mess is still in London. Now they say, I mean, look at the hair color. Look at the hair color. Unmistakable. This is a known Meghan hater, if that's her. You know, I bet you everybody was thinking, who's cooking bacon? Who's cooking bacon? And you know why, don't you? Because when a person's thighs are fighting for dominance, when one thigh is fighting to get ahead of the other, it can cause a weird side effect. The smell of bacon permeates the air. That's why the bacon smell. You have all that lard, just all the friction and the heat as those thighs fight to for dominance so that they can move forward. That's where the bacon smell comes from. Too much. Move over, bacon. Here comes sizzling. Anyway, and of course, all I could think of was one of those elephants at the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. Looked like someone was hired by P.T. Barnum himself. Because did you notice she has that little stool? Like the photographers, the real photographers, how they balance themselves on that stool. That's all I could think of, was a little elephant trying to balance himself on a stool while holding a camera. Well, I guess if an elephant can do it, she can do it too. Oh, anyway, if you're in central London, don't be surprised if you run into this big sloppy mess. Now, it says here, I respect the fact that Boozy signed his article. I have seen a lot of squatties sharing Feminagra articles. I shared a few before realizing that the author of those articles is anonymous. It could be anyone, a genuine journalist or a royal reporter like Rebecca English. And then, of course, there was a response from Feminagra. They said, appreciate you sharing your thoughts. Just to clarify, we're not royal reporters, and definitely not Rebecca English. Feminagra values anonymity because of the sensitive topics we cover, especially when it comes to power, media, and accountability. Our goal is to center the truth not ourselves. Thanks for reading. So, this particular squatty responded, anonymous articles are not only interesting for core fans. To be impactful, a journalist should sign their articles and be able to defend it on other platforms. Feminagra and their owners are just benefiting from squatties' desires to read positive articles about our faves. Click for free. Yeah, clicks for free. How do you guys feel about that? Because you know I love Feminagra. I am constantly quoting Feminagra. I have not been troubled by the facts that they present. I did not notice that the articles were not signed. I guess I was enjoying the material too much. But I guess, I mean, it's a valid argument. It's a valid argument. But I don't care enough about the fact that they do not sign their work. I only care that the work is done properly, that they have provided truth as opposed to a bunch of lies and innuendos. That's all I care about. I don't need to know exactly who that person is. I don't want to know exactly who that person is. It's not important. And when you're up against a powerful institution like the royal family, make of that what you will. But when you're up against a powerful institution like that, I think it is very wise to maintain your anonymity. Why expose yourself unnecessarily? So I think it's a legitimate question to ask, but come on. The idea that that could even possibly be Rebecca English, I don't think so. I just don't. I could not imagine that that's Rebecca English or some other royal reporter. It just, the way it reads, you know what I'm saying? And if there was anything that I thought was inconsistent, or if there was any slant toward favoring that institution, I would drop them in a heartbeat. And as for them benefiting from the squatties, so long as they're doing their work and they're doing it properly, so what? What difference does it make? Now, there are some people that have been suspicious of me. I've read their suspicions in other platforms. But with over 2,200 or 300 videos, if I have ever been inconsistent, I'd like for you to go and find it. If I have ever been inconsistent in any way, if I have ever let the side down, please go through those 2,000 plus videos and prove it. Demonstrate it. So when Feminagra gets to article 2,000 or 3,000, so long as they're consistently being balanced and fair where the Sussexes are concerned, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. I just don't. No offense, but I just don't. I'd rather Feminagra benefit than some other entity that has it in for them. A lot of authors and writers use a pen name, just as a actor or a singer or some other performer may use a stage name. Um, would you feel better if this person used the stage name? Would you investigate that person's credentials if they had used the stage name? Maybe. Maybe that's what it is. They would like to look into this person's background. But to be fair, I think it is a very, very valid question. A question that is okay to ask, but I just don't care enough to want to know. Not at this time. I mean, like anybody else, I would be curious. But I just could not picture Rebecca English with those large arms and those massive hands at a keyboard typing out those articles. You know what I mean? I just couldn't picture it. I couldn't picture Rebecca English fighting and challenging herself to keep her legs crossed. A constant battle to try to hold that knee down on top of the other one so her leg won't slip and kick the coffee table over. In spite of how much weight she lost, she still can't seem to cross those little chunky legs of hers. But one of these days she will. She'll get there. But I still won't like her, and I still won't suspect she's the one that's been writing Feminagra. And even if that were true, which I don't believe it is, but even if that were true, that Rebecca English was the one who used those strong muscle Ripley arms and hands and fingers of hers to write that article. The first time that they let us down, I'd be the first to say it. I'd be the first to say it. And then I'm done with that person. But right now, they're doing quality work, and I'm going to stick with it. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, anytime we click on one of those articles, we're giving them engagement, myself included. And that engagement turns into ad revenue because the assumption is that's just another pair of eyes that have looked at our advertisement. Now, there are a few squatties that I depend on social media where I can grab headlines for articles that I'd rather not read. Or in some cases, they have actually did screenshots so that you don't even have to look at the article and you can get everything that's important from it. So when you hear me say that I have a few people that I rely upon for research purposes, fortunately, I'm not giving that person giving that article engagement. There are times that I have to, but there are other times that I can avoid it. And I'm grateful for those times. But if my limited engagement with those media outlets is helping them to raise revenue, Surely Feminagra deserves that and so much more. Whoever is writing Feminagra, they're not making a lot of money. They're not making a lot of money. I can tell you that right now. They're not making a lot of money. They're not becoming millionaires because of our engagement. There are so many different independent journalists out there. Now, I do hope that someday Feminagra, I hope they go as big as the Wall Street Journal. Bigger. I think they deserve it. If you're a good journalist, you don't have to agree with this person or that person, but you need to be fair. You should be fair and objective. You got that right, soul brother. They're not capable of it. Okay, let's move on to this. That is stunning. The Dutch army has named their new tank regiment after Princess Amelia, a tribute to our future queen and a proud symbol of national strength and tradition. What an enchanting photo. That is absolutely magic. I love it. That is absolutely magic. And she's not dressing up to pretend like she's in the military herself, even though she is the future, symbolic head of the army. No, she's just wearing something beautiful. I love that. And check it out. Isn't that a beautiful dress? That's her father, King Willem Alexander. And you know what? She must be tall because I know he's got to be at least 6'2" or 6'3". But yeah, very beautiful. Ah, there she is. Legs. Didn't you say something about the couch? Isn't that something? Got to focus on that work-life balance. All that waving and at the weekend must have been exhausting. There you go, Legs. There you go. Sitting on the sofa eating chocolate bonbons. There you go. I knew it. I should have known. And by the way, PC, thank you for creating this image of Catherine the Great. But yeah, I thought this was hilarious. So, of course, I had to share it with you. Oh, your feet's too big. Don't want you 'cause your feet's too big. Mad at you 'cause your feet's too big. I really hate you 'cause your feet's too big. Up in Chelsea at a table for two. Well, there was four of us, baby. Me, your big feet, and you. From your ankles up, I must say you are sweet. But from there down, you just two big feet. Oh, your feet's too big. Don't want you 'cause your feet's too big. Mad at you 'cause your feet's too big. I really hate you 'cause your feet's too big. Now, when you die, ain't nobody gonna sigh. Undertaker's gonna have quite a job. They're gonna lay you out and they're gonna say, look at her in that casket. And them two big old feet sticking up out the basket. Oh, your feet's too big. Don't want you 'cause your feet's too big. Mad at you 'cause your feet's too big. I really hate you 'cause your feet's too big. You guys ever heard that song? I didn't make that one up. That song was from the hit musical Ain't Misbehavin'. Yeah, with Nell Carter, Andre DeShields. Gosh, who else was in it? Ken Page. Oh my goodness, I can't remember the other ones. But yeah, that song comes from the hit musical Ain't Misbehaving. When you go and die, ain't nobody gonna sob. Undertaker's gonna have quite a job. Yeah, it's the Fats Waller song. Yeah, Fats Waller. The musical Ain't Misbehaving was based on the life of Fats Waller. Tin Pan Alley, where the musicians used to go and buy songs. They used to call it Tin Pan Alley. That was a whole nother time. Tin Pan Alley. But yeah, that was a great play. Fats Waller. He used to write songs. And unfortunately, back in those days, he could not get his songs recorded. And so he would sell them to white artists and songwriters, and then they would make them into songs, make records from the songs and make a lot of money. And poor Fats Waller, he never got the amount of money that he should have made as a very gifted songwriter. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that history, go ahead and look up Fats Waller, and you will learn about the old days of Tin Pan Alley. Thank you, Helen G. Da 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 da. Yeah, they don't make songs like that anymore. I loved Ain't Misbehaving. I must have saw that. I had it on video on VHS, and I watched it a million times. All the songs, I really love those songs. Love those songs. Well, there's the carriage list right there. Look at there. Carriage number 2, Duke of Edinburgh, Duchess of Edinburgh, the Princess Royale, Vice Admiral Sir Timothy Lawrence. Oh, so they did take her off of there. I wonder who they switched around. I wonder. I mean, it seems like Will and Kate could have rode in the carriage with the king and queen consort, Camilla Godzilla. I wonder. No, it was Amelia McQueen, the light-skinned lady that was in the Ain't Misbehaving. That was Amelia McQueen. Charlene, what was her name? Woodard. Charlene Woodard, Amelia McQueen, Andre DeShields, and Ken Page. It just come back to me. I remember all 4 names now. But it was not Phyllis Hyman. Now, whether she did some other version of it, I don't know. Maybe she did. But the 4 that were from the original Broadway musical were the 4 that I just named. Ken Page, Andre DeShields, who's still alive, by the way, Amelia McQueen, and Charlene Woodard. I don't know about Amelia and Charlene, but Ken Page, I think he passed away some years ago. Oh, and of course, Nell Carter. How could I miss Nell Carter? So it was the 3 women and the 2 guys. Do you remember? I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came from you. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet. They're gonna knock me off my size 12 feet. A lot of kisses on the bottom. I'll be glad I got 'em. I'm gonna smile and say, gee, I hope you're feeling better. And close with love the way you do. I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a postcard. I gotta save some money and make believe it came from you. Yeah, that was one of the songs. I'm telling you, I watched that so many times. I knew every song in the musical. Every song. Okay, let me do this. And such unremitting nonsense about the royals. Well, Graham Smith says the Princess of Wales ruse not paying more attention to the subjects at school as the pair learns about the process behind a sustainable clothing dye. And that was an article? That was an article? Isn't that something? You mean to tell me they went from Happy and Glorious to Princess of Wales ruse not paying more attention to the subject at school as the pair learns about the process behind a sustainable clothing dye? You know what? That is going to put more people in housing. That is going to feed more people. That is going to help people pay for their electricity and gas bills. All of that nonsense is going to help real people someday, just not today. Media monarchy bias. Graham Smith of Republic says Republic will soon be launching a media bias campaign. Right now, you can complain to the BBC at BBC CO UK contact complain. Anyway, they're going to do something about media bias. I'm looking forward to that. That gives me something to look forward to. Also, Graham Smith shared this with us. The state of this nonsense, a woman's prize event, and all guests are put firmly in place with a written guide on how to talk to someone who believes she's better than them. Is Camilla incapable of normal conversation? Don't worry, you guys. I put it here so you can see it clearly. Thank you for joining us for our private reception marking 30 years of the Women's Prize for Fiction. Her Majesty the Queen will arrive shortly. Please read the protocol below in advance. It says here, after you've been checked in to the green room, you will be arranged into groups and given your lanyard to wear, which is compulsory. That means you better do it. After you've been checked in, I'm sorry. Did that wrong. Oh, there we go. Please remain in your group as the VIP makes her way through the tent. You will be introduced to her in turn. As the VIP approaches, meaning the Queen Consort, as the VIP approaches your group, please ensure you are not holding anything in your hand. Put down glasses, etc. Also, do not present carrots, sugar cubes, or apples, because if you're holding a carrot, a sugar cube, or apple, the VIP might get excited and start bucking and kicking and start to whinny. So if you are holding sugar cubes, apples, or carrots, please put them away lest you get headbutted by the VIP. Okay? Don't say we didn't warn you. Don't say we didn't warn you. Because you don't want to get headbutted. You don't want to go through the same thing that Princess Anne went through recently, where they found you knocked out cold. Also, it says, follow her lead. Allow the queen to begin. Steer and end the conversation. On presentation to the queen consort, the conventional formal address is Your Majesty and subsequently Mom. You know, ma'am as in ham. It's not ma'am as in ham, it's mom. Mom. Pronounced to rise with jam. Right? Not ma'am. Well, whatever the hell it is. Men are expected to bow from the neck. Women can either bow or curtsy. If you curtsy, it is just a short bob and bow of the head. Got it? A short bob and bow of the head when you curtsy. Those who do not wish to bow or curtsy do not have to. Technically, only those who have the king as their head of state need to bow or curtsy. Citizens of other countries may bow or curtsy if they wish, but are not required to do so. So there you go. There you go. What is this? Climate Action Week. Climate Action Week, London Climate Action Week will see the second in our global series of executive summits. Next week, we bring industry stakeholders together in London to focus on sustainable future of travel and tourism with the focus on the role of data in driving climate action. This convening is the second in the critical three-part strategic series taking place in Shanghai, London, and New York. This year, these executive summits are focused on catalyzing cross-sector dialogue leading up to COP30 in November 2025. Okay, so you know what I'm wondering. Is anybody we know going to be there? I wonder. Just asking for a friend if there's anybody we know that may be there. I don't know. Interesting, right? We'll see. Anyway, I just got 3 more slides left, and then we're done. 3 more slides. The next one. What do you think? What happens if James Bond is black? Aaron Pierre's rumored casting is the test. Well, as you know, I think the decision is up to Jeff Bezos. I do believe the decision is up to Jeff Bezos of Amazon. I think he's a stakeholder, right? Doesn't he have some control over that now? It'll be interesting. It'll bring a whole new audience to the 007 franchise. And lastly, as I have encouraged you all, try to introduce art into your life. Find those spaces in your home where you can enjoy beautiful works of art. Now, I don't know who the artist is. I do believe this may be created from AI or something. But it's just absolutely beautiful. I still say that the artist made this because look at the colors. The colors are just so beautiful. And that rather stoic, dark background, you know, that weird kind of sky. I love that. And then the tree, the way the tree is bursting between the buildings, fighting for daylight. But I think it's the color combination that really captures my attention. Isn't that beautiful? But wait, if you like this, you'll love this one. You see there? This is um, the same artist or program, whatever it is, but my goodness, is that beautiful? That is so beautiful. And I love the way the tree, you're not even sure how the tree is there because as you can see, oh, sorry. The tree is, you know, in between the buildings there. Wow. Love that. Now, I would not mind printing those out and putting that up on the wall somewhere. Maybe that'll be a future project of mine. But yeah, that is stunning. Beautiful. Love that. And with that, you guys, I am done. Thank you so much. I told you we wouldn't be here more than 2 hours and 7 minutes and 9 seconds. Told you guys. As Ever launches in 8 hours. 8 hours. As Ever launches in 8 hours. Thank you so much for that reminder. Yeah. Y'all know how to find As Ever. I don't need to put anything up at top. Let me see. Oh, you're welcome, Cookies and Cream. I had so much fun today. I really did. I had so much fun. I mean, as you all can see, I have been busy. I have been busy. Finding this photo of Princess Anne and her real family, that wasn't easy. That wasn't easy. First of all, I had to figure out where the orphanage was or the not the orphanage, the you know how royals every time they go on tour they say people come up missing. Yeah. Uh Sussex Soldier. Let me see. Thank you, Baron. Done well. Let me see. Oh, job well done as usual. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you for being a member. Let me see. Where's my other one? This one right here. That was fun. Took a lot of cutting and pasting, but I got her in there. I mean, wait a minute, you guys. Look at her eyes. Look at her face. Now, don't she look just like that lady? The eyes and her mouth, she looks just like her. They could be sisters. They really could be sisters. I think that Anne is reverse case of The Jerk. Oh, that movie, The Jerk. I remember that. I remember The Jerk. That was Steve. What was his name? Steve something. Oh gosh, Steve something. I forget his name. Oh my God, that was a good movie. Steve, not Steve Allen, right? Not Steve Allen. Steve Martin. Thank you. Steve Martin. That's it. Steve Martin. I said Allen. Oh Lord. You know, Steve Martin is a very prolific art collector. He actually has a very fine collection of art. Well. I'm telling you, their eyes, it's in the eyes. That's where the resemblance comes from. Now let's check the mother's side of the family. Definitely the hair. Oh man. I am having too much fun. That's what I mean. When I get that creative streak, I have to, I'm committed. I don't have a choice. I'm committed. Oh, Jessica Foreman, thank you very much. Light skin Annie, that's her. Thank you, Connie Balmer. Thank you. As we near the end of Connie Balmer Appreciation Week. Hey, Ingrid Soares, I didn't say hi to you today. Thanks for being here. Let me see, what else was fun today? Oh yeah, the could you imagine? Oh, Meghan just posted something. Meghan just posted something on the Instagram. Let me see what it is. Just got a notification. Oh my goodness. You guys want to see the picture? Hang in there. Hang in there. I'll show you. Somebody is living their best life. Somebody is living their best life. Okay, let me show you the picture. Check it out. Check it out. What a way to relax before your product drops. What a way to relax before your product drops. And that is, of course, from the Duchess of Sussex. What excitement. Okay, now there was a message with that, and I'll show you the message right now. Give me just a second. I will show you the message. Here we go. Hours away. See there? Here we go. Hours away. And of course, you can find this on the As Ever Instagram, and also you can find it on the first photo is wait a minute. Well, you know what I mean. An enchanted forest? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I am so happy for them, for Meghan, because of everything that they have been through, especially our Meghan, that she has a place of solitude to get away from the cruel world. Let me see if I can find that. There we go. As ever. I mean, look at how big that property is. Look at how big that property is. Yeah. I was looking for the photo where she's walking across the bridge. Right? That's the one I was looking for, where she's walking across the bridge. In her backyard. Anyway, I am very happy. Very happy for them. Okay, I don't see the one with the oh well, you all seen it. Oh, this one right here. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And well, anyway, after the products come up, the next thing I do after I make my purchase, I'm going to get online. So I'm going to have everything ready to go. And I will talk to you all in about 9 hours. Okay? See ya.